Hi, Russell Cummings. Welcome along to this short video on just getting your pricing strategy right. I find too many businesses struggle with pricing, and too often there's only one approach, which is the cost plus methodology that lots of firms, particularly accounting firms, will promote. But there are some other ways to look at pricing that I really think are worthwhile. So let's just quickly run through them. There are sort of, a number of sort of pricing strategies. And they're all sort of variations on a bit of a theme. The first one is competitor pricing. So lots of businesses will just price off what the competition do. And the competition can be really high or low for a whole range of reasons. And some of the reasons why they might be really low are they're a bit crazy. So you just got to be a bit careful about pricing off competition, off competitors. It's also dangerous to say that, oh, they're too cheap and they're going to go broke. And therefore I've just got to hang on. So one of the things that you need to do is to think about what is the competition pricing at? How do our products align and products and services align with their products and services? And what have we got to do to be competitive? So have an understanding of what your competitors are pricing and what they're actually offering for it, and be objective in terms of what they're really offering for that price, so be clear. The next one to think about is cost plus. So this is the typical one where it's material costs plus labor plus a margin gives you your final price. Now that's fine in a perfect world where you just go, we'll just recover our costs and make a profit, and therefore that's the price it needs to be. That's okay, but in some cases that will mean you'll leave money on the table. Or it also means that you'll be overpriced, and so it's worthwhile having a look at these other methodologies to sort of get your head around how your pricing fits together. Now the main thing about cost plus is I think it should be your minimum. Okay, so in any case, try and set cost plus at your minimum. Now if your cost plus pricing is too high, then we'll talk about the target pricing methodology in a second, which may help you reduce your costs and focus on what you need to focus on to meet a cost point that may be by competitors or whatever. Now often there are other models in here. You have some government regulation. So if you're in pharmaceuticals or something, your price may be limited by government, and really then all you're doing is adjusting your margin or your cost base to achieve a particular government mandated price, which is the same with recommended retail. So recommended retail, you'll normally buy the product off a wholesaler and there'll be a recommended retail price. It's your choice whether you take a higher or lower margin to price it either above or below recommended retail. But they're sort of basically variations on that cost plus theme. The market will bear is where you look at your products and services and say, given on balance the features and benefits and the value that this product adds to our customers, we can actually charge more than our costs, more than our reasonable margin, and go to market with a price that makes sense. So often you see this where you pay for a branded product that is very much the same as a generic product, just with a label on it. Yeah. So all they're doing, their costs haven't really increased. Sometimes it's decreased because they get more volume, but their margin is inflated because you're prepared to pay extra for it because of the value that you add. And we talk about value proposition in some of our other videos, so go and check that out. So market will bear pricing is really, really important. Okay, so sometimes you can use that. Now the third one is target pricing, and this comes out of a number of sources, but the one I've seen it in most is Blue Ocean Strategy. And target pricing is where you say, what's our target? We want a target price so that we make our product appeal to the widest range of audience. Okay, so this is the methodology from Blue Ocean Strategy. So we want our pricing to pick up the most amount of business for us, and therefore we set our pricing first. We then set our margin. So what margin do we need to make on it? Okay, and there's a whole heap of work being done on margin, but what margin do we want to make on it? If we subtract the margin from our target price, then we end up with what is it what does it cost us, need to cost us? So if we can't deliver our product for that cost, then something's got to change. Either the price has got to go up or the margin's got to change. Or we've got to think about what we can do to target that cost. And in this phase, I love to use this called the ERRC matrix. So it's about what can we do to change the I guess product service matrix, the value matrix around our product or service, in order for us to either influence the price or influence the cost. Okay, and so what we think about is there are four key elements. What can we eliminate? Yeah. So what can we eliminate from our product or service? And these are often factors that the industry's long competed on. So what can we eliminate? So what can we get rid of? And it might be, we could change the packaging, or we could do something a bit different in another way, or we could drop the service, possibly even bring the quality back to a level that the client is going to pay for. No point in making Rolls Royces if all they want to pay for is VWs. Okay, so be really careful about quality and making sure that the quality is the quality that is defined by the client for that price point. All right, so you might be able to eliminate some stuff. You could also raise some things. So we might eliminate some things, but what else could we raise? What could we lift that would really set our product apart? Now, it might be quality, or it might be the standard of our packaging or design or something else. Yeah, it may be warranty. It may be something that gives the perception of a higher standard and higher value, but doesn't cost us much more. Okay, so we can change the value proposition by raising things. What things should we reduce? Not just eliminate, but reduce. So there's some things we can squeeze back. And that one there maybe is quality. Maybe we just squeeze quality back a bit, or we reduce the amount of packaging or the amount of cost, or some other thing in there. And lastly, are there anything that we need to create? Is there something special we can do here to this product, which is going to allow us to either jack our price point or significantly reduce our cost? So there may be something that we could do. It may be an innovative new way of applying the product or doing something differently that actually reduces the overall cost of the product to our clients. So use this as a brainstorming methodology for you to be able to go back in time and say, okay, what are we going to do here to either adjust the target price or just our target cost? Okay, what can we do? And maybe it's a bit of both, okay, to get where you want to be. But the main point is, what's our target price less the margin gives us our target cost. All right, so we run that ERRC matrix, harder to say than it sounds. Here's a bit of an example. So this was Yellowtail Wines. So what they did in Yellowtail in sort of adjusting things and getting better market penetration was they actually lifted the price, but they eliminated a whole heap of marketing and aging quality and different things. They just produced a good quality drinkable wine for the US market. They reduced a whole heap of things around prestige and complexity and the wine range. They had a much smaller wine range, which meant they were able to have some economies of scale in production, marketing, distribution, all those sorts of things. And then lastly, they created a sense of adventure, ease of selection, and easy drinking. So what they did was change the whole value matrix for that particular product, for the Yellowtail wines in that US market, which gave them a differentiation. So what this has allowed them to do is sell reasonable quality wine at a price point that's acceptable to the market place, but with their costs reduced significantly so that their margin is built in. Okay, so what they've done is use target pricing in that space. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, so remember there are a couple of different models for your pricing. Just go back and review this video and look at them. Remember, competitive pricing should be something that you'd use to monitor the market, but then think about, how do I need to price my product? Think about using target pricing as a model, and work out what the market will bear in terms of price points for your product or service. All right, as usual, if you've got any comments or any questions, please either comment through the comment section of below this video, or flick me an email, or comment through the Mindshop Online coaching resource. Okay, hope you're having a great day. Thanks.